Hey Ringside crew, welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside Podcast. And now here's your host, Joe Panther III.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside Podcast. I'm Joe Panther III, and man, fans, you're in for a treat. We got a big reveal toward the top of the hour, and I have a young lady that is doing some big things in the independent wrestling scene. With this being East Coast / Tri-State Wrestling Month, introduce yourself. Not you, the guest. Not you, Goldie. My guest. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm the infamous Lady D, also known as Desiree. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Awesome. Thank you for taking this opportunity. Thanks for coming on Dudes at Ringside Podcast and being able to tell your story on the stuff like that. So, how did you get into independent wrestling?
So I saw my first indie show when I was 15 years old at the Rhode Island School of the Deaf. Unfortunately, the only thing that I remember actually seeing was Matt Taven versus Vinny Marcellia, who is currently known as Vincent. And I remember yelling at Matt Taven, "Nobody come for me. I know we're 2025, but I was 15 years old and I yelled at him that men don't wear glitter." Obviously, I know that is no longer the case. And some of my favorite people wear glitter in their gear all the time. So I was a 15-year-old. But that is the only
Here,
thing
there's a girl I know that loves Taven.
From that.
I can't think of her name, but she loves Taven. She'll be like, "What's her address?"
So I know exactly who you're talking about. I saw her at a Northeast wrestling show. She came with a bunch of her friends. And ironically, my adopted son is a Taven mark. And every time he sees me now, that's the one thing that he remembers about me. He's one of my favorite people. I love him. But that's the only thing that I remember about that. But I was like, this is so cool. And I mean, I'm a 15-year-old girl. And at the time, my best friend at the time was like, "Yeah, my brother wants to go. My mom said that we have to go with him because she doesn't want us all in the house." And I'm like, okay, I guess. At the time, nobody really knew that I liked wrestling at all because, again, back in the day, I was a girl. Girls aren't supposed to like wrestling.
No.
So after that, my best friend's brother was like, "Well, if y'all want to start coming with me, you totally can." And it ended up working out because the girl that he really liked at the time ended up becoming really good friends with his sister and I. So we kind of helped him out there. But that's where it started.
Wow. So did you ever watch any of the mainstay wrestling back in the day, or just stuck to the indies? Like,
so
I would say.
I grew up as an Eddie Guerrero and a John Cena fan, which most people would be like, "Huh, one spectrum, other spectrum. That makes no sense." But yes, back in the day, I loved watching them. I also loved watching old school Randy Orton. There is something that I'm going to mention that I'm going to come back to. But I also I still love Paul London. Absolutely adore him. I always loved Triple H and Shawn Michaels. One of my good friends in the indies, I commonly refer to him as the next HBK, which most people refer to him that way as well. But yeah, I watched a lot of stuff growing up. And then I found the indies. And now, this is a horrible thing to say, but I don't watch very much like mainstream stuff anymore. I watch the Royal Rumble. I'll watch WrestleMania. I know that. I am keeping tabs on Evolve because I think I think it's fantastic what they're doing with it. But I will say I'm definitely an indies girl in my heart.
Awesome. So now you're really involved with a promotion. Let's talk about it. PWJ. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so PWJ, Pro Wrestling Junkie, my big bro, my business partner, Gilbert Rodriguez, he owns the company. I started out writing biographies for him. The first biography that I wrote was for Alec Price, actually. Because who better to write a bio about Alec Price than his best friend? So I started out writing biographies for him. And we became very, very good friends. Like I said, he's like my big brother. And then he's like, I want to do a show. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah, why not? I'm like, you have enough connections in your company and you know what you're doing. And I mean, I have a business degree and it's something I've always wanted to do. People know us. Why not? And we started planning. We started talking about it. And then we really started planning it in October of 2024. The show ran this past January. We sold out the world famous Mecca, which if you had told me we were going to sell out the venue, I probably would have been like, no, we'll get a lot of people, but I don't think we're going to sell it out. And is by far the most rewarding thing that I have ever gotten to do in my career. There are people on my show. Vincent was on my show. Very first person that I ever saw in an independent match. Anthony Green was on our show, who is somebody I'm very close with. I've been following his whole entire career since he was a referee. Good friends of mine, the Miracle Generation, who I actually, when wrestling was in Rhode Island, they used to wrestle down the street from my house. Two wonderful people, Flash and Kylon, who I've gotten to see grow and evolve. We have 3 WWE IDs on our show: Zeta Steele, Marcus Mathers, and Jackson Drake. All super amazing people. I actually met Mark when he was 19 and I called him a breakout star, and I still call him that. And we had a lot of really amazing people. We had Deonna Purrazzo and Steve Macklin, who my son also loves Deonna Purrazzo, so I know a lot about her as well from him. And it's one of those things where a lot of the time people have seen me, in a very different kind of role than a management or in charge type role. And there are people who, like, they know me, they've seen me, some of them have been seeing me for years. But it was one of those things where it's just like, we set up the ring the night before the show, and then we just kind of stopped and looked at it, and it was like, this is ours. We did this. It was just one of those moments where all that hard work and everything that you've been working on and all the anxiety when you're like, well, what if people don't come? Well, what if this happens? Well, what if that happens? Like, I was just, nope, the show is tomorrow and we're going to kill it. And we did.
Awesome. I like to hear that. Like, when wrestling shows are put together, sometimes the fans just don't know what kind of it's hard to say, because I'm a fan. I'm just a fan that's on camera all the time with red funny glasses.
We like the glasses. We like them very much.
Very much. They're demure. They're nice. They get me in trouble. Me heels always want to break my glasses, but it's okay. I know where I'm in the world.
Shame on heels, says the girl who usually cheers for them.
Did you see who was in my intro? I have a WWE ID girl in my intro. Did you notice that?
I did notice that.
It took me twice to get a picture with her. Hopefully she doesn't watch the episode. That's a lie. I was a heel that day. In Brooklyn, I asked a wrestler, can she come out? She came out, looked at me and said, I can't. And then she turned around and walked back to backstage. How's that? And then I started PPW, and I guess she saw how much of an ass, and I was nervous, and I was like, hi, how are you? I'm sorry. I was like, I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to do that to you. And she was like, do what? And I was like, She doesn't remember. Okay. So I gotta take a picture of you, and she's like, yeah. I mean, she was like posing like this, and I guess she thought I was gonna put my arm on her shoulder. And with me, this is gonna make you go, wow, Joe is one of those good people in the wrestling world. I take picture of women's wrestlers. The arm never goes on the shoulder. It just stays like hovering, like a ghost. My hand hovers on the shoulder. I usually keep it like this or this, a little bit on the shaping the shoulder blade, because I don't want wrestlers. I want show fans because I'm internationally known. I'm a podcaster. Technically, I'm an internet celebrity. I don't count myself as a celebrity, but I want to show kids and people that want to be fans of wrestling. They don't have to make people feel weird, because I've seen so many creepy pictures with WWE, with the prom picture and the buddy picture. Like, no.
Now I feel weird asking for pictures now, because I am a promoter, and I announce at another company, two other companies, but I always feel a little bit weird. But then, of course, people who know me really well will just look at me and be like, "Are you kidding? Come over here, take the damn picture."
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I can't. And they're like, "You're not dressed in your blazer. You're not working. You don't have a clipboard. You're just here to be here. You can take a picture." But it happens a lot more than I would like to admit, because I'm just like, yeah, but like I work with people now.
Yep, that's what Dave says. Yep, it's true. Have you ever been to a Lady D? Have you ever been to a Comic-Con before?
I have not, actually. I was supposed to go a couple of years ago when Britt Baker came to Comic-Con here, and I got very, very sick. Thankfully, my son did manage to get me her autograph. That is in this room somewhere. I just rearranged everything. As you can see, I only have some pictures on the wall up there. But it is in this room somewhere.
Yes. I always feel weird because like even Foxy from Jersey said, "Joe, you're such a sweet person." And then I showed her the picture when I met her back in the day. Back in the day when you still took pictures with a clicky camera.
When you had to go to the store and buy 4 cameras and you had to wind it up and then take it to be developed.
I said, you just sounded like the girl with Tourette's. Wind it up. Like, yeah, so I was that guy at the show. "Can I take a picture with you? Can you help my picture? Can you take a picture?" And it's always they take the 2 pictures. So one of them just like talking to the wrestler and still prepping the picture. Because back in the day, I still prepped pictures even though we knew how the picture was going to go. Me like this. Or I was always going, or like this, depending on the wrestler. The rocker wrestler, I always did this. If it was the cool and me in the middle, like, here we go. This shows how cool Joe Panther III is. I met Marshall. Is it Marshall Mathers? What is he now? He's not Zack Ryder. What is he now?
Oh, Matt Cardona.
I met Matt Cardona and his now former his tag team friend, one that was with him in WWE and then left with him.
What's his name?
Oh gosh,
I can't remember his name either. I know who you're talking about.
I met both of them right before they left NYWC. I got the famous picture. I have it in my room. I'm like this, and they're standing and they're pointing at me.
I met Matt Cardona for the first time. I think it was at the Melrose Ballroom, and I remember I was sitting at a table, because Alec was there, and he was like, "Do me a favor, set up my merch for me." And I was like, "Yeah, of course, absolutely." And I was just sitting there. And along comes Matt Cardona and goes, "Is it okay if I put my stuff here, sweetheart?" And I stopped and I'm like, "Absolutely, sir. You can put whatever you want there." And I don't normally get fangirly. And I was just like, "Oh my God, you're wow. Well, okay. This has been a great day already. And the show hadn't even started."
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I guess are we at the top of the hour now? I don't know.
Yeah, we're about 15 minutes in.
We'll wait a little longer. We'll wait a little longer till the big part of the show.
What's under the towel?
Hey, comment what? Hey, David, start people chanting. David's one of my big fans of Ghost Head Talk and like Dudes at Ringside. He's a cool guy. He's part of my cosplay community. Ghostbuster. He's a good guy. I haven't seen it yet, but have you seen the movie the Queen of the Ring yet?
I haven't seen Queen of the Ring yet. I keep hearing really good things about it. I haven't seen it yet.
I want to see it so bad. I
want to see it. I absolutely do want to see it.
If you're watching this, the girl that I was talking to from the theater, she didn't even know the movie was out and didn't even know. I was like,
oh my goodness.
I'm scared. I'm like, if I bring something with me that's shiny and bright, they may try to call the cops. They know me as a Ghostbuster, but they don't know me as a wrestling fan.
I mean, I think you might be okay. They let belts travel through TSA, so I think you'd be okay.
I'm afraid, I'm wanting to go to England, but that's my biggest fear, that I get to the airport and then they're like, my sister's like, well, you're gonna have to give her Goldie. Baby, no.
Well, they'll probably let you carry her on. I feel like that it would count as a carry-on. I mean, I don't fly very often. I could probably ask. I probably should say, so when you went here, did they let you carry the title on the plane?
I'd be crying. My sister's like, why are you crying? She's under the plane.
I can understand that.
I'll be singing this song as they're taking the suitcase away. Whitney Houston, like, I will sing it. I will always love you as they're taking my suitcase away.
I can 100% understand that.
Every wrestling fan that has a belt thinks that.
Well, I don't have any of my own belts, but I have carried enough of them to know that it's a very special, important thing. So I can absolutely understand you not wanting your precious to be under the plane. If I had a belt, I wouldn't want her to be under the plane.
No, I'll be singing. My sister be crying. Why are you crying? I'm not crying. I'm just worried.
I can completely understand that. 100%.
As you're being like, would you count yourself as like a promoter, or like you're just
So, I mean, I have people who say that. I don't feel that way, but the people that I work with will say that because I am Pwj management with Gilbert, and then I announce, and I also am in a management role with an NFW, which is out of New Jersey, Northern Federation Wrestling. And then I announced for another company in Rhode Island called RWA, which is where I started. But for myself, I wouldn't say that I'm a full-fledged promoter. I would say I've definitely got, I've ran a show. I'm running another one with NFW. We're running in June, and then in August, and then in October, and then in December. And I do have a hand in all of that. But for me, I won't say it, but I know other people like, Desiree, be quiet. You're the promoter. Shut up. I'm like, okay.
You ever have say on what matches happen during a show, or does it just stay like between Gil and anybody else?
So Gilbert and I booked the whole show.
Okay.
Every match that was on our last show, we booked together. We, put it in the order that it was in. It's on High Spots TV. Damaged Goods. So if you want to watch it, if anybody who's watching wants to watch it, it's on High Spots TV. But yeah, we booked the whole show together, the two of us.
That's amazing. Is there any wrestlers that from the New England area, or I would say like the tri-state where I live, or anywhere on the scene that you've watched from local that you would like to have come through that haven't been there yet?
So, there are a couple of people who one day I do want to have on our show. He's currently injured right now,
Oh,
but I don't know if people can see it.
that Love Dog?
Nope, this is Jordan Oliver.
Oh, Jordan. I think I know Jordan. I remember Jordan Oliver. Yeah.
He's currently recovering from ACL surgery. He's somebody that I absolutely will love to have on our show. I mean, he's a close personal friend anyways. I also really would love to get Griffin McCoy on our show as well.
McCoy, is that the one that's her character's kind of like a redneck character?
No. So Griffin's moniker is Top
Griffin.
Guy Time.
Okay.
And then let's see who else. I love the main event. The going thing that I have with them is that I love the circus. I came across them at Wrestling Open. They used to come all the time, but of course Midas moved to Florida, so it's a little harder now. But I definitely would love to get them on a show in the future. There's a lot of people that I really love. Killer Kelly, Myron Reed.
Awesome.
I'd love to bring Deanna back. I'd love to bring Gabby back. Gabby Forza, one of the
Gabby Gilbert
people I've ever met in my life.
Is it Gabby Gilbert?
No, Gabby Forza.
That's another Gabby that's cool too.
Gabby Forza.
You need to definitely try to get Gabby Gilbert. She's cool. I love Gabby.
We do have some people that are going to be on our show in July that I'm super excited about. Ken Broadway being one of them because I haven't seen him in a very long time. Kylie Ray is going to be on our show. Zeta's coming back. Marcus is coming back. Jackson is coming back. We have a couple of people. Darren Richardson is going to be on our show. He's a House of Glory student who
amazing.
Very, very impressed with. Paul London is going to be on our show.
July show. We're getting July news, and it's not even. We haven't even hit April yet.
Yeah, we like to make sure that things are locked in. I guess we're a little early there, but it's okay. But if you told little 16-year-old me that one day I was going to get to work with Paul London,
she would have yelled at you and walked the other direction.
I would have laughed at you and said, "You don't know what you're talking about."
And you're from the future.
Yeah. So if somebody had told me that, I would not have believed them at all. That's something I'm very, very, very excited about. I've met Paul a handful of times. I've seen him wrestle in Rhode Island, in other places. Such a good soul. So I'm super excited to get to work with him. I mean, I'm always excited when I get to work with somebody that I've either been a fan of my entire wrestling life, that's how I refer to it, or somebody that I have seen grow and evolve, and I've seen them in different aspects of their career. Like, I was so happy and excited to have Anthony Green on our first show because I've been watching him since he was a referee. And I've seen him, go through all of the different phases and evolutions of his career. And it was just so fantastic for me to be like, oh my gosh, I've been watching you forever. And now we get to work together. And it's just a full circle moment again, because I never saw myself doing a lot of the things I'm doing now. I always knew I wanted to. I always knew that I wasn't coordinated enough to be a wrestler. I'm clumsy. I trip up the stairs. I fall off the sidewalk. I walk into walls.
No.
So I knew that there was not a possibility that I was ever going to wrestle, but I always knew I wanted to do something. And it took me a little while to figure out what it was. And then I got into announcing back in 2018. And I'm like, this is what it is. This is what I've been looking for.
With the announcing, I've asked. Oh, excuse me. Oh, long day. With you being an announcer, I've asked this to other ring announcers and stuff like that. So, to get your voice prepped before a show, what do you drink, or what is like kind of like voice things do you do to keep your voice from cracking or getting like messed up for a show?
So me, I am a lemon water girl all day. I'll drink lemon water the entire day before the show, usually while I'm getting ready, while I'm prepping. And that's really it. I this is probably going to sound weird, but I don't do any like voice exercises or anything. My aunt, God rest her soul, used to be a blues singer. So she gave me voice lessons for a very long time. So sometimes I'll just sing. One of the things that I will do is I'll sing the entrance songs depending on who they are. And that's kind of my thing that I do to get ready for a show. I know everybody's different. And then that's really it. And I'll practice, like if I have a show on a Saturday, I'll start practicing at the beginning of the week. And I have everybody's entrance song on a playlist on Spotify. Except for some custom ones. There are a couple of custom ones that you can't get, but the majority of them I do have, and I'll just start practicing them. And I mean, some of them I know by heart because they're people I see all the time, and then other ones I have to usually ask somebody, please send me your information, because I like to make my index cards ahead of time. With the exception of a couple of people, there are a couple of people that I don't have cards for because I've done them so many times. I'm like, I know what it is, unless you're changing it, which that does happen. And I'll usually say, when I work a show for NFW, we have a chat with everybody in it, and I'll say, it's your friendly neighborhood ring announcer. If you're making any changes or I've never announced you, please send me your information. And all of the boys and girls are fantastic. They always send me their information, or they're just like, I'm not making any changes. I don't
Cool.
I don't really do anything like super special, I guess.
Awesome. Like, as we went over the whole announcer thing, but like, is there ever a wrestler that has like a really hard like name to say or where they're from that complicates the announcement for them sometimes?
So a lot of the times, if there's someone like Myung Jae Lee, for example, I actually had him say his name for me because I didn't want to mess it up. Most of the time, talent will tell you what to say or how they want you to say it. I haven't had any real complicated ones. I will say probably the most nervous for me when I did it at the time was the very first time that I did Alex's introduction, because at the time we were under the impression that was the only time we were ever going to be in the ring together. And I was like, I've got one shot, and if I mess this up, that's it. I'm not getting another opportunity. So that was probably the one that I'll say was the hardest. And definitely the one that I was most nervous for. I've gotten to do a lot of other really awesome ones. Like I've done Anthony Green's introduction. I've done Fresh Air, Junior Benito and McCrae Martin. I've done Ryan Clancy. I've done TJ Crawford. I love TJ. He's somebody that I hope to get on a PWJ show in the future for sure. I've gotten to do Akira. I've gotten to do a lot of really cool people. And then of course there are people, every wrestler has their I want to wrestle list. If they tell you they don't have one, they just don't want you to know. I have a I want to announce list. And I'm, there's I won't say quite a few people on that list. But there's enough people on that list that hopefully later this year, maybe in 2026, I'll get to check some of them off.
Yep. And I think another one, I don't know if you thought about or you guys bringing her in, Little Mean Kathleen.
Yes. So she is somebody, I actually just saw her last week. She's fantastic.
She's hilarious.
And she is also one of the nicest people that I've ever met. I've actually worked, I don't know if I'm supposed to, I'm probably not supposed to say this, but I think it's a known thing. But I've worked with her boyfriend, Channing Thomas. So nobody come for me if I wasn't supposed to say that. If it was
Kathleen's going to find my house, knock on my door and go, my mom's going to be like, Randy, this is a short blonde girl screaming at our door going, Joe now, stomping up and down, and be like, oh God, it's LMK, she found my house, crap. Then she's gonna go like this, you stinky Joe, and then just runs away, stomping, hands running like Tasmanian devil away from my door, like,
the very first time I ever saw her, the first thing I said was, oh my gosh, I love her. And she was just running around stomping. And at the time, it was the very first time I saw her. I had no idea like that was what she was going for. I'm just like, this is the most entertaining thing. And now, of course, I see her a lot of different places and she's grown so much. So she definitely is somebody that I hope to bring in the future for both companies, actually.
Awesome. Yeah, I seen Little Me Kathleen's gonna be at ISVW in April, and I'm like, do I surprise the lady and just show up, or do I make an announcement? But let's.
Can never go wrong with a surprise.
Yes. Oh, by the way, a surprise. Let's do this. Let's do the reveal now, because I feel the vibes on this side of the room starting to get a little peckish.
What's under the towel? Let us see, Joe.
Drum roll, please. We have something that I have been striving for since I was 9 years old. Everybody wants a championship. I've been a podcaster for 4 years. I've talked to wrestlers from people from New England to New York to Pennsylvania to jolly old England to Australia, the Down Under, Chile, and everywhere. I want to thank you all. This is something from the bottom of my heart. This belt came from my dad for Christmas. Came yesterday. It's from Ruda Entertainment. Go on Instagram, follow him, go get it. If you want a replica title or a created title, go to Ruda. Drum roll, please. We give you the podcast International Championship. This baby is something that I've been dreaming in my head since I was 9 years old.
Oh, she's so pretty.
And she represents everywhere that I have spoken to a person from. From the island of Puerto Rico all the way to jolly old England and all her little islands.
So pretty. So fun fact about me, I believe all belts are girls and I name them all. So What is her name?
She's Goldie.
Goldie. Perfect.
That's Goldie. That's my golden girl. She's always my friend. And everybody's like, it's a boy. No, she's a lady. That's a lady.
No. So every title belt that I have ever held has always been a lady.
Oh, she's a lady. She's a thick girl.
And I named them. Our NFW championship, her name is Lola. When Alec was IWTV Independent Wrestling World Champion, I named his belt Iris. I still refer to her as Iris. Mark may call her something else now, but I still refer to her as Iris. I had another friend who won another title in Ohio, and I named his belt Regina. So I'm weird quirk about me. I name title belts, and they're all girls.
Oh, if you want to change her name, I like Goldie. Goldie's like she's a global girl.
Goldie.
She's
Goldie.
a global girl. She's not cocky. She just says, "Oh, I know somebody from England. I've been talking to people from England for years." She has a subtle like accent. Like she knows how to. She's that girl when you go on a trip and she'll already know the language of the country. If we go to like Ireland, she'll be like,
I've been there. I know
she's the girl that talks Gaelic. I don't know where you're just like,
and you're like, ma'am, where did you get that from? You know what? It's okay. Now we're not going to get lost.
Yes, or like you'll be in England and she'll just pop out she'll pop the pinkies up as soon as the tea comes out of the cups. She'll open a bag and second barrier. She'll open her jacket and have like a bunch of British black teas and just be like, water please for my friends.
Mm-hmm. Yes, don't forget their cups.
Yes, she'll be talking in a British accent in the middle of like it's like, no, we are good here. We're good, you know. We'll be to France. She'll just turn around. She'll have a beret on. She'll be like, we have it. I'm like,
okay, well then.
Yeah. Like she also knows she also knows French Canadian. Yeah, I as a kid, most people I know, most people know this belt as the Winged Eagle, and I chose the Winged Eagle because that belt, it was so much part of my childhood that even my dad knows. She was like, "Oh, I knew you were gonna," because originally she was gonna be the old NWA belt.
Ah.
That one, the 5 pounds of whatever it's called. I forgot what they call that one. The NWA, but has a special name. I forgot what they called it.
So I have a friend who's a belt collector. So when I talk to them later, I will ask.
Yes, I was gonna get that one, but Mr. Ruda said this belt, the way you have it set up, Joe, looks perfect. It wouldn't have looked good with the MWA title in the middle. It had to be perfect. It has my logo and also yesterday was a very rough day in my house. We had to put down our very sweet, loving wiener dog Dexter. God rest his soul. Yeah, he was 16 years old. Yeah, it was sad. He had to go over the Rainbow Bridge. Yes, he went over the Rainbow Bridge.
I'm familiar with the Rainbow Bridge. My puppy actually passed away on a day when I was at a show. My whole family was there except for my mom and my dad. And my mom ended up calling me and was like, "Where are you?" And I was like, "I am already at the venue." And she said, "Well, then I'm going to put the phone down for you so you can say goodbye because you're not going to make it." And I stopped for about 5 minutes and I got in the car and I'm like, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. And then the next day, all of my friends who were there with me, they sent me these beautiful cards. And I had one friend who sent me flowers. And I was just like, you guys are so nice and so kind. And I appreciate you so much. And he was my best friend.
If you were following me on Instagram this morning and you saw my post, you would have fell on your knees in tears because
I routinely say that I like dogs more than people. I know that sounds really harsh.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, I believe that too.
but it really is it is the truth. I mean, I have great friends, and all of the people I get to work with are fantastic. But if I would be that person who you would say to me, well, this puppy is gonna be killed in a shelter, and I would look at you and go, give me the puppy. Or I was driving, I was on vacation in Pennsylvania 5 years ago, and I made my mom stop on the side of the road because I wanted to stop and take pictures of the cows. And there was a dog in the field running around with the cows, and I'm like, Mom, we have to take the dog somewhere. And she just looked at me and goes, honey, the dog's probably part of the, family that takes care of the cows. And it turned out that he was, but here I am on the side of the road. I want to make sure that the dog doesn't get hurt and doesn't run in the road. I'm that girl.
No. But they also have a
I'm
barbed
that
wire
girl.
fence right there too, so it can't be that bad. He must have somewhat of a good life. He's hanging out with cows all day, keeping them
True.
clean. He probably hangs out with them. He probably goes to bed with them,
Probably, most likely. But yeah, I'm that girl. See an animal, help it. That's me.
Yes, definitely. It's always good to help animals. And I'm sorry. She's staring at me again. Stop staring at me. I'm busy. I'm working late. I'm a podcaster.
Well, she's saying, turn me a little bit. They can't see me quite so well.
I'm trying to adjust it. Papa Panther did this for me. Your uncle, your dad, your uncle, Papa Panther did this.
There we go. Now we can see her, buddy.
Okay,
Better.
good.
Better. There we go.
I don't want to touch it too much. I don't want to knock her over because she's a lady.
Yes.
Yeah, so got the belt, and this morning it hit me about Dexter, and because I work in a assisted living place, and I work in the kitchen. I'm one of the kitchen hands. Hence, my attitude, you see me, I'm just very sweet and bubbly and happy. I'm helping set up for breakfast, and the song by Mariah Carey, I Will Always Love You. The part says I have to leave. You know the part I'm talking about?
I think so.
Towards the beginning of the song, whatever, I have to leave and whatever, I must go. That part came on, and I just heard the part, and I started going, and I just immediately eyes started filling with tears, and there's a bathroom in the dining room, and I ran to the bathroom, and one of my favorite coworkers was like, well, we lost Joe. And the other guy was like, what do you mean we lost Joe? Where'd he go? He's not eating his crackers. He's not eating his Puerto Rican breakfast at the counter with his cup of coffee. Where'd he go? She's like, he just ran in the bathroom crying. And she's like, what? Joseph, what happened? And I told him, today's the day we have to put Dexter down. And she's like, oh my God, Joseph, it's okay. You're all fine. You're with friends. I'm like, I know. Just that song hit me.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's get back to the wrestling talk before everybody starts thinking this is a puppy pod.
Yes.
That's
talk some other time.
Or the floof with we can bring it back. We'll do a floof at ringside story podcast episode.
We can talk about dogs some other time.
Yes, you can. I'll give you my number. We'll talk. I could text about. I'll send you doggy memes all the time. Everybody's like, why is Joe Panther? Why do you have the Joe Panther's number? The Joe Panther. Wow, I just call myself the Joe Panther.
Because we talk about dogs.
Talk about dogs and Goldie wanted to say good morning. Yeah, so after a show, when you guys are done putting the ring away and putting the chairs away, where is that location? I'm a local podcaster in the Poconos. Where's that location by you that you guys go to all the time after you eat? Or where's that place that you want to give a shout out to that's a local business?
So it depends where we are. If we're here home in Rhode Island, it's actually before the show, and it's called This Guy's Pizza.
This Guy's Pizza.
I unfortunately have a tomato allergy, so I can't eat a regular pizza. They are one of the very few pizza shops that I have encountered that I can order white pizza. So if we're here in Rhode Island it's This Guy's Pizza. If we're in Massachusetts, the place that I love because they actually serve food there is the Hillside Country Club. Everything that I've ever eaten there is amazing. In New Jersey, behind the Mecca is Bobo's. Behind the Mecca is Bobo's. If you're in Atlantic City, I won't lie, my friends have to make me eat because I'm usually running around like a crazy person. And it's usually somewhere in the resorts next to the Showboat. Or we'll walk down the boardwalk and go to Rita's because I will sell my best friend down the river for Rita's.
Like Rita's is Rita's that everybody knows, the icy thing you get.
Yes.
What is, if you had to pick, here we go. If you got a chance to get a thing on the menu, if they made you, Lady D got her own ice cream on the menu, what would that be?
So it's a funny thing that you said that because they did one last summer with watermelon Sour Patch Kids, which is my absolute favorite candy in the entire world.
So if I ever meet you, I got to remember, I got to go to the store and get myself the family size bag of watermelon Sour Patch Kids.
So I got a surprise visitor in one night at Wrestling Open, and that was exactly what they brought me. Family size Sour Patch watermelons. Because I don't really like surprises, and they came and they surprised me, and I was like, what are you doing here? We were in Jersey. We went to a show at H2O, and there's a Rita's close by. And I'm like, oh my God, they have watermelon Sour Patch ice cream, which turned out to be watermelon icy with the vanilla custard ice cream, and then the watermelon Sour Patch Kids on top.
Ooh,
so if that was gonna come back, then that would be me.
Yeah, I actually, for myself, because I'm partial to Rita's, or by me, if you ever come to up into the New York area and you're just randomly strolling and you see a sign that says Port Jervis, New York, I'm not being paid by, again, nobody. Uncover my mouth. I'm gonna get a little closer to the camera so they can see this. I am not being paid by Ben's Fresh, but I talk about them more than anybody else. The owner told me, and he thinks it's hilarious how much I talk about them. But the restaurant's called Ben's Fresh. It's in Port Jervis, New York, and they have the best ice cream you will ever have. Their award-winning burgers are phenomenal. Ooh. They have wraps up the wazoo, different types. With that, yes, today I had the disco chicken wrap.
That sounds interesting.
Do you want me to explain what it is?
Of course. With a name like that, it has to be something good.
Crispy chicken, like the crispy chicken with French fries, with the almost like the disco fries, with French fries and a crisp. It's like getting chicken with the gravy on it wrapped in a wrap.
Ooh.
And it comes with French fries. All right, usually you get double French fries with the wrap, and in the wrap, they're chopped up. Yeah.
That sounds really good.
They have all different. So remember, put it on your phone. Ben's Fresh, Port Jervis, New York.
Actually, I'm going to write it because I spend lots of time in New York.
So Ben's Fresh, they have wraps. They have milkshakes. They have so many desserts. It's just like, you can, my buddy Hector would say, you can't try everything in that place. There's so many things probably I'll never try.
I mean, you never know. You could have just one day where you go in and you just say, I want to try everything.
Yeah, they have wraps. They have a Goodfellas wrap. They have a Sopranos wrap. They have that crispy chicken one. They have wrap called the Dragon. And I'm just like, that sounds super spicy. Like, that's a bathroom trip. If I love spicy, but that's a bathroom trip. I'll be right out.
Or maybe I won't.
No, I'll roll the door open, toilet paper. Oh my gosh. But yeah, Port Jervis is a nice place to like walk around. A lot of like old buildings. There's an old church there and stuff like that. But in closing, if anybody wants to buy a ticket for any of your PWJ shows, how can they get a ticket?
So if you want to buy tickets to the show in July, you can go to www.pwjcards.com. You can buy tickets there. We also have exclusive trading card packs from the first show on there as well. We're also doing a 40% off sale right now that is good until tomorrow. So if you've been wanting to start a trading card collection or you want to add to one that you already have, we do have some cards up there from all 3 series. I know our inaugural champion is up there right now. Both of his card sets, his original card and also his blood print, is up there as well. Unfortunately, the discount code is not good for show tickets. I'm sorry. But we do have a lot of cards that are up there. We also have Alec Price is up there, Cole Radrick is up there, Casey Navarro is up there, Kid Bandit's up there, Billy Starks.
I know Billy Starks. Wow, Billy Stark.
Yes, yeah, Billy's card is up there.
She's a Ringside alum. I love Billy.
She's also one of my favorite people as well.
If you ever speak to her again, tell her, guess who I spoke to? And she'd be like, who? I'm like, dude, Joe Panther the Third. She'll be like, oh, I haven't talked to him in years because I talked to her. The last time she was on this podcast, she would have never thought in a wildest dream she'd be on TV every week. She was a kid, still a baby. If you saw her videos and pictures, she still had that bright blue, like blue streaks in her hair, and still she had the little sparks. And she could sense that she couldn't sense, but she was goofy. She was funny with us. I've asked her to come back, but she can't.
Yeah,
the JEW stuff.
But I love her too. I'm trying to think who else I know. Who else up there that I know is up there? Jackson Drake's up there. Zeta's up there. We have Leon Slater cards.
Yeah, a lot of people cards up there.
We do.
Go shopping on there.
We've been, so like I said, if you've been wanting to start a collection or if you have one that you want to add to, they're up there. Some of them are limited because they're like from our first and second series of cards. So I know that once they're gone because we won't have any more. But that's how you get them. We do sales. I won't say all the time, but we do some pretty good sales throughout the year.
Do you guys
also,
do like? Oh, wait.
We have these beautiful pins that you can get as well.
Pull it up a little bit. The camera can't see it.
Oh,
I not see it. Oh, I like that pin. I'm a pin collector. You know, I have pins on my jacket that I wear around. So
this is my blazer that I have worn at almost every show that I've ever announced. Our pin comes in black and white, and then we also have like a firecrackery one as well. But also for me, I collect pins too. I have my my teacher, my mentor, Rich Palladino. I have never not announced wearing this pin. I've worn a couple of different jackets. This is one pin that I always take off and I always wear because I always want to make my mentor proud. And then I have I made Alex's first set of buttons. So this is his original button that I made for him. I have Anthony Green pin that I also have worn at every show that I've announced. Then Miracle Generation button, Bryce Donovan. Then I have another Miracle Gen pin, our pin. Jordan Oliver, who I've also worn at every show, Marcus Mathers, and then my good friend Landon Hale. I try to change them out sometimes because I have other pins. Like I have a Junie Underwood button. I have an MDK pin with Nick Gage and Maki Ito. I have. Do I still have my LMK button, or did I give that to my niece? I might have given LMK to my niece because my niece really loves LMK. But I love
funny that
pins.
she hasn't really. It's funny that she's really not called Little Mean Kathleen anymore. I think that's kind of funny. It's like,
Yeah. I mean, I feel like people who have been watching her like forever, they still call her Little Mean Kathleen. Like I've been watching her forever, so a lot of times I'll say Little Mean Kathleen. But if I'm just, talking, I'm like, oh yeah, LMK. But yeah, so I think we may also still have some show posters on the website as well. We had really awesome posters made from our first show, so we may still have some of those left as well.
Awesome. I want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast to talk about what you do with PWJ, and thank you for helping me reveal this lovely young lady, this international lady right here, the podcast. You're a ring announcer. You should announce her.
Okay. Well, we're gonna say she's from the Poconos.
Yeah, this lady is from Teddy DiBiase, they would say he vacations in the Poconos, but she's really from all over the world.
Okay. All right. And
she's
where we can say she currently resides?
She currently resides in the just say Poconos, because
okay. All right. So this is how I do this. So, ladies, gentlemen, non-binary friends, introducing to you, hailing from around the world, but currently residing in the Poconos of the beautiful state of Pennsylvania. This is the beautiful, internationally known podcast belt, Miss Goldie.
She's glowing. She's glowing. Oh my God. She's glowing. And thank you so much, Lady D, for helping me introduce the Goldie, the International Podcast International Championship, to the world, because she loves the world. That's why she's got my beautiful little mug in the middle of her noggin. She had to get a tattoo of me just so she wouldn't forget me. She wants to forget me.
I don't think she ever will.
She already looks at me and goes, "Oh God, I gotta watch this ding dong sleeping. He talks in his sleep like a puppy." What?
Everybody talks in their sleep. It's okay.
She probably goes, he's talking about me again.
I mean, what's not to love? She's beautiful. She's been around the world. She sparkles.
Yeah, she's shiny. Yep.
What's not to love?
She kind of loves the woodlands, the Poconos, but she's like, bugs.
Yeah, nobody likes bugs.
No. But Lady D, thank you for coming on Dudes at Ringside.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm Joe Panther the Third.
This is the beautiful Goldie. I'm Miss Lady D. And if you want to see anything else, you can follow me on my socials. On Instagram, it's the infamous Lady D, lady with 2 Y's. On X, formerly known as Twitter, it's infamous Lady D. I don't use my Facebook, so I won't tell y'all that.
Yeah. And we will catch you in the next one.
Bye. Thank you so much.